What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of TEW Confrontational. My name is Ty Workentine here with my little brother Evan Workentine. Back at you with episode number 47 of TEW Confrontational. And yeah, a lot of exciting games in week 17 and a lot to look forward to in week 18 with a lot of playoff implications and some controversy that ended in week 17 and all that fun stuff. A couple moves being made towards the end of the season as well, kind of
hmm
solidifying some rosters and everything, replacing some injured players and all that good stuff. But yeah, speaking of week 17, I went 9-7 and you went 12-4. So that increases your lead by 9 games. I'm sitting at 156 and 100, and you're at 165 and 91. So it's going to be tough for me to come back in the regular season to pass you. So I think you got this one locked in, but
Yeah,
it was
never
fun,
know
kind
though.
of.
Never know.
Yeah, yeah, you never know, but it was kind of fun keeping track of all the games and everything like that, and seeing what our overall record is. But not too
Right.
shabby for picking games and stuff like that. 156 and 100 above 500, and then you're 161 to 91. So yeah, you could probably get less than a hundred L's this year,
Oh
this
yeah.
season with picks and everything if you pick right this week 18. But we'll just jump into week 17, starting off with the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns on Thursday Night Football last week. Yeah, Jets sitting at 6-9 heading in this game. Browns at 10-5. Browns looking good for the playoff run in the AFC, and they get another dub. Joe Flacco does it again, throws for 309 yards and 3 touchdowns in this game, and Brees Hall on the ground and through receiving yards and everything. Just kind of, yeah, couldn't. That's all the Jets offense is, just Brees Hall at this point. But
Oh yeah.
but yeah, David Njoku balls out again. But yeah, Browns get this one. Uh, Take the dub 37-20 in Cleveland. And yeah, Joe Flacco looking good, and
Yeah, he
he's probably
balled
going to be
out.
sitting this week, getting ready for playoffs and everything like that. But yeah, you got
hmm
anything to add on that
Yeah, I
game?
mean, I think he threw for 298 that first half. That most passing yards he's ever thrown in a half. I mean, his career, and he's been in the league for a while. So, yeah, very impressive. And then yeah, like you said, David Njoku. He had 3 or 4 monster catches. I know he had one where he did end up fumbling. It was a big catch in the getting it stripped and fumbled, but other than that, he balled out. And they need him in the playoffs. They need Joe Flacco to continue to play well because they're going to be a dangerous team if they go down the stretch in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, 100%. They're going to be a tough out for any team they face in the AFC. They got a stellar defense, and with Joe Flacco taking care of the ball like he has been and throwing for 300 yards, yeah, it's a scary team to face in the playoffs. But yeah, Browns get this one. Jets get knocked out of the playoff race and everything like that. But yeah, Browns going to be a tough team to face in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. See what happens there. But they moved to 11-5. Jets at 6-10. So yeah, Browns get a solid win there. And then probably one of the most exciting and controversy games happened on Saturday. You had the Detroit Lions heading to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. And yeah, towards the end there, it came down to the wire. Lions get a 2-minute drill executed and score in the last couple minutes there, and then go for two. And yeah, you get what do you want to add to that?
Yeah, just I don't know. Very controversial. I don't know. Like just, I think it was difficult for the ref. It looks like a guy's coming on the field. I think it was 71. He's looking at him, gets him marked as eligible. It's just very controversial. I don't know why you'd ever have 3 guys running to the ref to report as eligible. It is what it is. I know a lot of Lions fans feel like they got screwed, but at the end of the day, they did get beat. And I wasn't complaining because I did pick the Cowboys. So yeah, it's just very controversial. Everybody's gonna have their opinion on which is right, or if the ref was right, or if the players, or if the ref was incorrect, I guess. So it is what it is, and really good win for the Cowboys.
Yeah, it bumps them up, and with that Eagles loss last week, bumps them up to first spot in that division. But yeah, huge controversy with the Cowboys and Lions game. So you had number 68 Decker, who was over there talking to the ref, and they even had footage of Jared Goff pulling him out of the huddle, directing him towards the ref to report as eligible. And then you had a number 58 or something over there too, talking with
Yeah.
number 68 to the ref. And then you see number 70 running onto the field, and yeah, I don't know exactly what happened. There's two sides of the story, obviously.
Hmm.
But yeah, so they get the 2 point conversion. It was successful. They get called for the flag for ineligible touching by the lineman because he didn't report as eligible, even though he said he did in the post game uh, press conference interview type thing. Backed him up 7 yards or 5 yards, and then they
Yeah.
get a an encroachment call on Micah Parsons, which brought it back up 5. And then yeah, they missed that the second 2 point conversion attempt.
Yeah, I
Falls
think
out of
it.
the hands of the
So was
tight
it?
end.
So was it 10 yards? So like, and I was obviously at the two-point
It was
conversion. I believe.
went to the 7, and then it went back to like the 3 or something,
Or-
half the distance to the goal,
Okay, okay.
something
So I don't
like
know.
that.
Is it 10 yards for like not reporting?
Illegal touching. I think it's only a 5 yard.
Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah. So they went for the two-point conversion twice,
Oh yeah, technically three
three
times, but
times. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, Dan Campbell was coming in. He told the players before they even scored on that drive. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna score here, and we're going for two. We're gonna get the W." And they drew up a perfect play call and everything. It's just yeah, shitty ending to that game for the Detroit Lions fans, but uh helped the Cowboys out a lot. They get a first they get home field advantage pretty much the whole way there until like probably the NFC conference game and everything like that. But
Yep.
yeah, solid win for the Cowboys. Won by the hair of their chinny chin chin, but extends their home win streak to 16 games in a row now. So they're going to be a tough team to play in the playoffs as well. But Cowboy or Lions will be as well. And they
Hmm.
play the Vikings next week, and we'll go get into that. Vikings still have like the slimmest chance ever of making the playoffs, but there still is hope. So, but yeah, solid win for the Cowboys and tough loss for the Lions, but they're both sitting at 11-5. So two solid teams in the NFC there facing up on Saturday night, and Cowboys get the dub in that one.
Yes, sir.
Then moving on to Sunday's games, we'll kind of run through these pretty quickly. Wasn't a whole lot in the first couple games, but you had the Buffalo Bills hosting the New England Patriots, and Bills, yeah, get the dub in this one, 27-21 over the New England Patriots. Um, and yeah, the Buffalo Bills, Rasul Douglas and the trade deadline, he showed up good in
Hmm.
this game, had a pick and everything. But
Defensive player of the week, I believe,
yep,
or
yep,
AFC
and then
defensive player of the week.
yep, something like that. But yeah, Bills end up getting this one 27-21 over the New England Patriots, boosts their chance getting making the playoffs and everything like that. So yeah, they're sitting at 10-6, Patriots at 4-12, looking for, I think they're sitting at like fourth pick
Hmm.
overall or something like that in the next
Yeah,
draft. So, but yeah, Bills
that's
27
right.
over the Patriots 21. Dalton Kincaid had a pretty decent game coming back, 4 catches, 87 yards. But yeah, Bailey Zappi throwing 3 interceptions doesn't help the team at all much. So, but yeah, Buffalo gets a good win in that one. They move to 10-6 and keep their playoff hopes alive and everything in the AFC there. So, and then you had the Atlanta Falcons traveling to Chicago to face the Chicago Bears. And Bears end up getting the dub in this one, 37-17, to kind of put up a dominant showing. Khalil Herbert got their number one running back. He was back last week, but then again this week week 17 he runs for 125 yards and a touchdown. DJ Moore had a good game, 160 yards and a touchdown. And Justin Fields playing well, especially in the yeah, I think it was rainy conditions last week and everything like that for the Bears and stuff like
Hmm.
that. But yeah, they get the dub 37-17 over the Falcons. And I think that keeps their playoff hopes alive as well in the NFC. I don't think they've
Uh,
been quite eliminated yet, but I
I don't
can
know exactly. I think that might be. I don't know.
let's take a
I
look
think
here.
they're out. I don't think
Let's
they can
take a
squeak
look.
in.
Yeah, they are eliminated, but the Atlanta Falcons still have a chance to make it, still sitting at 7-9. If New Orleans loses, Seattle loses, Atlanta gets a dub, Packers have to lose, Vikings have to lose, and I think they would possibly get in there because they beat the Packers head to head
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So if all those things happen, they still have a chance. Kind of similar to the Minnesota Vikings, how what they need to happen getting into the playoffs and everything. But
Right.
yeah,
Right.
solid win for the Bears there, and then they play the Packers next week, which we need the Bears to win for sure.
Yeah,
The
you have
Vikings
to
do
for sure.
if the Vikings want to chance to make the playoffs, and they have to get a win over the Lions. So, yeah,
Hmm.
playoff implications coming down to the wire in Week 18. But yeah, good win for the Bears. They're at 7-9. Falcons are at 7-9 as well. So, and then you have the Las Vegas Raiders heading to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. And yeah, Colts stay alive in the AFC as well, getting the dub here 23-20 over the Las Vegas Raiders. Um, yeah, Raiders had a solid game, put up 20 points. Aiden O'Connell threw for 300 and two touchdowns, and Devontae Adams had 130 yards and two touchdowns as well. But it just wasn't enough for to stop Jonathan Taylor. He had 100 yards and a touchdown, and then Gardner Minshew had a solid game as well, leading the Colts to victory there.
Yeah, I mean, like we said last week, we knew it was going to be like a very tough game or a good game for each team. They're about the same skill level. So yeah, it was the both quarterbacks played pretty well. I think the biggest factor was the run game. Obviously, yeah, JT, 100 yards and a touchdown, I believe, like you said. So did he have a touchdown?
Yeah, 96 yards and a
Yeah.
touchdown, but
But I
rounded
think that
up
was the
to
biggest
100.
factor. But good game. Yeah, and then I think that increases obviously the Colts' chance to make the AFC playoffs, right?
Yep, yep. So they're still in the playoff hunt and everything like that as well. And so yeah, gonna come down to week 18 for a lot of these teams. A lot of the playoff chances are in their own hands. Colts are sitting at the number 7 spot right now. And Houston is right behind them, and so are the Steelers, because Steelers got a dub last week as well. So Bills are in it at 6 in the wild card. So is Cleveland, and so is the Colts, but Cleveland already secured their spot in the playoffs and everything. But
Yeah.
Jacksonville is looking a little scary. They did get the dub last week, but they're sitting at 9-7 in that 4th spot, ahead of the Colts and the Texans and everything like that. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, a lot of playoff implications coming down to week 18 here, the final week of the season. So we'll see what happens. Pretty excited to watch some of these games next week. But
Sure.
solid win for the Colts. They keep their playoff hopes alive, and yeah, over the Raiders, who just put up 63 the week prior and everything like that. So yeah,
Hmm.
solid win for the Colts, and overall great win. Tough loss for the Raiders, but you know they'll have Antonio Pierce back next year probably as their head coach, and they're just
Yeah,
going to keep
absolutely.
getting keep building chemistry and keep becoming a better team and everything like that. So, but yeah, overall solid win for the Colts. They moved to 9-7. Raiders fall to 7-8 and all that fun stuff. So um, yeah, and then you had a nail biter for the Rams last week. Los Angeles Rams heading to New York to face the Giants, and barely squeaked this one out here, 26-25 over the Giants. Um, and yeah, Tyrod Taylor was starting for the Giants. I think he probably looks a lot better than Danny Dimes, and he's been playing well. He put up 319 yards. That touchdown
Yeah.
did have one interception, but
He's a good backup. I don't think either of the yeah, I don't think Danny Dimes or Tyrod Taylor are good enough to be a starting quarterback, but obviously Tyrod Taylor showed out. He's better than that Tommy DeVito too. So he put the team in the best chance to win, but kind of sucks losing by 1 point.
yeah,
Kind
100%.
of embarrassing for the Rams. Just kind of how highly we spoke of them last week and how well they were playing. Puka being putting his name up there for rookie of the year possibly. We'll see. So, but yeah, beating the Giants by 1. I know the Packers lost to the Giants, but I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah,
good game.
it was a solid game. I mean, Kyron Williams had 87 yards on the ground and also added on 3 touchdowns. So that's where all the touchdowns came majority. Matt Stafford did throw for 300 and a touchdown, but also had 2 interceptions. And that lone touchdown came from Cooper Kupp through the air, but Puka Nacua had 120 yards through the air as well, or receiving. He had a bomb, 80-yard bomb uh, down the right sideline there for a big play. But yeah, just a solid win for the Rams, and yeah, they're still in the wild card there in the NFC, kind of just solidifying their spot in the NFC. So that's going to be a tough out as well for any team that has to face them. Matt Stafford's been pretty much the whole team's been there before,
Hmm.
of the veterans at least. Matt Stafford, uh, Aaron Donald, all those guys on the offensive defensive side there. So Yeah, they're going to be a tough out in the NFC as well, but solid win. They moved to 9-7, Giants to 5-11. But yeah, that 3 touchdown performance from Kyron Williams. He looks like he could, yeah, be in contention for some award there. He is a second year
Yeah.
player, so he won't get rookie of the year. But man, he's been having one hell of a year. He's already over 1,000 yards, and close to like 20 some or 12 touchdowns. So he's tied sixth for total touchdowns.
Hmm.
So solid year for him, and he's probably been one of the biggest factors why the Rams have been are sitting at 9-7 because they had Cooper Cup out. Puka Nakua had a good start to the year and then kind of fell off. And then once Cooper Cup came back, so if they're all healthy, that's a scary team there. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then probably one of the biggest upsets of the week, you had the Arizona Cardinals heading to Philly, and putting up an upset against the Philadelphia Eagles, winning this one 35-31. And like we mentioned before, that loss to the Arizona Cardinals knocked them out of first spot in their division, and also gave the 49ers the number one overall uh, top seed in the
Hmm.
NFC. So
I believe that.
49ers
What are the Eagles sitting at overall?
11-5.
Yeah, no, in seed for the playoffs.
They're
They are
fifth now.
two,
Yeah, they're fifth.
fifth. Yeah, so they're looking at playing the fourth seed. So, yeah, Eagles. We've been talking the past few weeks have been playing like dog shit. I could see them being beaten the first round of the playoffs. Get them out of there. I mean, they don't even look like the same team like they were 5, 6 weeks ago. Just embarrassing, and yeah, losing the Cardinals. Yeah, just I just don't see them moving past the first round of the playoffs at all. I don't, honestly, to be honest, I think there's teams that should be in it besides them because they've been looking just terrible these last few weeks.
Yeah, their offense hasn't been clicking the last couple of weeks. Their defense is kind of stepping it up a little bit, but still let up 35 points to the Cardinals. And Kyler Murray throws for three touchdowns. And then James Conner also added 130 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Um, so yeah, yeah, not looking good for the Philadelphia Eagles, but they are sitting at 11-5. Um, but yeah, it's going to be a tough road for them ahead, facing yeah, like you said, the 4 seed and then probably the second seed. So it's going to
So
be
the
yeah,
fourth seed right now is the Buccaneers. So
yep.
I mean that's a tough game. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there, but yeah, solid win for the Cardinals, which the Eagles losing helped out a lot of teams, for sure, especially the Cowboys and the 49ers, no doubt. But yeah, solid win for the Cardinals, and they moved one spot up probably in the
Draft order
draft order, so that probably
hurts
wasn't
them.
what
Yeah.
wasn't what they wanted, but it was pretty fun to see them beat the Eagles. And did you see the locker room of the 49ers watching the game before they went out onto the field?
I did
Uh
not.
yeah, so they were watching the game before they went out onto the field and everything, or maybe at halftime or something, but they saw the Eagles lose to the Cardinals. So that was kind of fun to watch them. George Kittle was in there, Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, all
Hmm.
those guys were cheering on the Cardinals, and it was kind of that Hail Mary towards the end of the game where they knocked it down and
Yeah.
solidified the game there. So yeah, solid win for the Cardinals, tough loss for the Eagles, and yeah, not looking good for the Eagles. People are saying, yeah, they're washed. They're not going to go far in the playoffs, like you said, and everything like that. But we'll see. They're one of those teams that, yeah, has resilience, and I bet you they make a deep run in the playoffs, 100%. It's the
I
Philadelphia
I I
Eagles.
I'd bet you on that.
Yeah,
But
maybe
all right,
we'll
next
see.
game.
But yeah, head into the next game. You had the New Orleans Saints uh, traveling down to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers, and they get a dub here, a big dub for the Saints. Actually, keeps their playoff hopes alive and everything like that. But they get the dub 23-13 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield throws for 300, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, which probably the deciding factor in that one. Um, but yeah, they're tied, sitting ahead the NFC South standings. So big games next week for both of these teams. They need to get a dub here. But Saints get a big one in Tampa Bay over the Buccaneers 23-13. So they're both sitting at 8-8. Like I said, they're tied ahead of that NFC South. conference and everything like that.
Yeah, turned out. I mean, it was this game kind of reminded me of the Raiders Colts game. Two good teams, about the same level of competitiveness or skill level. So we knew it was going to be a pretty good game. Yeah. Saints are, I think, and that's a good rivalry. Saints Bucks. Yeah, I think the Bucks are a little bit better. Just couldn't take that one home. So, um, yeah, I don't know. What do you say there? You said the Bucks and Saints. What's the records?
8-8.
Both 8-8. And
Yeah.
then what's that do for the tiebreaker? What's why are the Bucks in first? Have they beat them head to head, or if they're both 8-8?
Yeah, the Bucks beat them head to head, but I'm gonna pull it up here. So yeah,
It's gotta be
wins tiebreaker over New Orleans
schedule.
Saints based on best win percentage in common games. Best win percentage in common games. So
Okay.
Bucks are 3-2 in the division, and so are the Saints. They're 3-2. But overall in conference, their Bucks are 6-5, and Saints are 5-6 in the conference. So there's that difference right there,
Okay.
and things of that nature. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Packers are sitting at number 7 spot. We need them to fall down, but Rams already solidified their spot in the playoffs and everything like that. But yeah, solid win for the New Orleans Saints over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was a must win for them in order to keep their playoff hopes alive. But yeah, both sitting at 8-8, and yeah, solid win for the Saints there. And then you had the San Francisco 49ers heading to Washington. Yeah, we didn't really talk much about this one during our picks. And yeah, it really
Yeah.
wasn't much to talk about right now.
Mhm.
With the score 27-10, 49ers over the Commanders. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey's probably sitting next week. Probably Debo, probably Brock Purdy, probably Brandon. They're probably sitting everyone next
Mhm.
week and not going to do much to probably play their second team. Just make sure those starters are rested up for the first. Actually, they'll get a bye, so they have a 3-week break before they play their next game and everything like that after next week. So yeah, solid win for the 49ers. And yeah, they have the number 1 spot in the NFC, so they get a bye first round and they get home field advantage throughout. So yeah, solid win for the 49ers. Helped out that the Eagles lost, but yeah, doesn't matter. They're sitting the number 1 spot in the NFC, so solid win for the
Sure.
49ers there.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, we didn't really talk about it last week. Not much to talk about that game this week. Kind of knew what was going to happen. And yeah, they just had kind of fate fall into their hands by Eagles losing or getting upset by the Cardinals. So they get kind of lucky and then secure that first spot, but nothing really to talk about for the game.
Yeah, not much. And then we forgot to mention earlier the Jets and the Browns. Jets released Dalvin Cook,
Hmm.
and then he signs with the Baltimore Ravens, who are struggling with running back issues and everything. They always seem like their running backs are always hurt. But they
Yeah.
still have Gus Edwards. I think they have Melvin Gordon on their practice squad
Yep.
or brought him
Yep.
up in the practice
I
squad
think
and they
they
just
brought him
signed.
up, and I think yeah, Dalvin is he's. I think they signed him to the practice squad. Um, and he has it's a pretty good deal for him. I mean, didn't get a lot of carries or didn't play a ton with the Jets.
No.
Just the how what not how bad they were playing. Um, so he got 6.8 from New York, and then goes to compete for a Super Bowl possibly. So
Yeah.
that's a good luck of the draw for him getting paid and going to compete for a Super Bowl.
100%. He might have a ring when it's all said and done. He's always played better in purple anyway, so
Yeah.
this will be a good home for him. Uh, Great coaching staff over there in Baltimore and everything like that with Harbaugh and everybody like that. So yeah, solid win for the 49ers. Just wanted to mention that Dalvin Cook, but we'll get into the Ravens game here in just a second. We'll just kind of skip over the Panthers and Jaguars. Jaguars put a whipping on the Panthers 26-0.
Hmm.
They needed that win for sure to help their playoff hopes. They're sitting at number 4 in the AFC, but uh,
Yeah.
not by much. They're 9-7, and all the teams in the AFC are like 8-8. So yeah, it's going to be hopefully they can get a win next week, but we'll get into that when we cover week 18. But yeah, Jaguars over the Panthers 26-0. Travis Etienne has 2 touchdowns, and Jaguars end their four game losing streak, and shut out the Panthers there. So yeah, but yeah, getting into what we thought was going to be the most anticipated game of the week, Dolphins versus the Ravens. You had the 10-5 Dolphins versus the 12-3 Ravens. And yeah, Ravens yeah, just put on a show. Lamar Jackson put on a show for everyone. Um, and yeah, end up winning this one 56-19. Yeah, Lamar Jackson with 5 total touchdowns through the air. Actually, not just 5 total, 5 passing touchdowns to just, yeah, put an absolute whipping on the Dolphins in this one. Like I said, 56-19. Dolphins are
Mm,
sitting at 11-5 now. Ravens at 13-3. So yeah, great statement game from the Ravens, showing that they're probably the best team in the AFC, especially with the Chiefs
best team in the
crumbling.
NFL.
And yeah, well, yeah, them and the 49ers. I know the Ravens beat the 49ers 2 weeks ago, but was
I just mean putting up that many points against the Dolphins. The Dolphins defense isn't terrible at all by any means. And then yeah, Lamar playing how well he is playing, and then adding a great Pro Bowl back in Dalvin Cook. They're going to be really scary to play. Um, yeah, they're looking good, and I don't think I've missed a Ravens game in 8 weeks, 7 weeks. Um, so yeah, I
well,
think
yeah,
that'd
I
be the
mean,
best
and
team in the
they've only
NFL.
lost they've only lost three, so you could have picked them every week, and you'd only be down 3 games. But yeah, that defense for Baltimore with Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen, uh, yeah, just a bunch of dogs on the defensive end there.
Yeah,
For the Baltimore Ravens, Kyle Van Noy, all
Calvin
of
Noy's been
those,
playing good too.
yeah, Marlon Humphrey, who just came off like the 2 interception game or 3 interception game the week prior. So yeah, they just got a lot of dogs on the Baltimore Ravens team, overall offense, defense, and special teams. So yeah, just a dominant performance for the Baltimore Ravens over the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, sad showing for the Dolphins, but yeah, they'll be making some noise in the playoffs for sure. Um, just without how explosive the Dolphins offense is and everything like that. But Zay Flowers also making a run for rookie of the year and everything like that as well. He's been balling out these last couple games, actually all season. But yeah, he's only like 150 yards away from 1,000 yard season, and he has 5 touchdowns on the year. So yeah, if he can get 150 next game, crack 1,000 yards in his rookie season, that's a pretty good outing for Zay Flowers
Hmm.
and stuff like that. But yeah, solid win for the Ravens. Good statement game, showing the world that they're uh, one of the best teams in the NFL right now. So
No
yeah,
doubt.
Ravens sitting at 13-3, Dolphins at 11-5 in the AFC. Um, so yeah, and then you had the Tennessee Titans traveling down to Houston. And yeah, Houston with a big win as well, keeping their playoff hopes alive in the AFC, 26-3 over the Tennessee Titans. CJ Stroud back and has 213 yards and a touchdown. Nico Collins was back as well. He had 80 yards. And then Devin Singletary has been having a hell of the last 3 or 4 games. He runs for 80 yards on the ground as well. Um, so yeah,
Yeah,
Houston with a
I didn't really watch this game. I didn't really care about it. But yeah, obviously that's a big win for Houston to keep their playoff chances alive. So yeah, and then
yep,
obviously Titans had nothing to lose. I mean, they're already out of it. So yeah, that's why I didn't pay much attention to it. So
yep. So Texans sitting at 9-7, keeping their playoff hopes alive, and they're just trying to get healthy. They got CJ Stroud and Nico Collins back, so that helps out a bunch on the offensive end. But yeah, if they can get a couple more people healthy by the time the playoffs start, if they make the playoffs, because yeah, could end up making the playoffs here come week 18 if they win and a couple other teams lose. But
yeah,
yeah, Texans solid win, much needed win for the Texans over the Titans, 26-3. So yeah, solid win for the Texans. And then you had the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Seattle in the 12th member of the team in that stadium there, and ended up getting a dub, 30-23. Steelers did, and yeah, solid game for the Steelers overall.
hmm
Even with Mason Rudolph as your quarterback, George Pickens at 130 yards, Najee Harris with another solid game. So he's been stepping it up these past couple weeks, and he had 122 on the ground. But yeah, that's basically what it was the Najee Harris show. Jalen Warren had a touchdown. Najee had two. and that was basically it. They had a defensive touchdown and everything like that. So, or
Hmm.
a special teams touchdown. So yeah, solid overall win for the Pittsburgh Steelers there. Um, yeah, anything
Yeah,
you want to add to this one?
Mason Rudolph. I mean, obviously, the last 2 weeks that he's played, they've won. So, um, I think that's the quarterback that you have to. Obviously, I don't think he's the quarterback of the future, but I do think they stick with him. I don't think they do the stuff that the Vikings are doing, bouncing back between three quarterbacks. I think they need to stick with Mason Rudolph. He's won 2 games. Even if Kenny Pickett's healthy or whatever, if he's able to come back, if they were to make a second round of the playoffs, I think you stay with Kyle Rudolph, Mason Rudolph, and see, I think he gives you the best chance to win. Obviously, you've seen it 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
The run game's getting going, and their passing game.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the most they put up all season was 468 yards, this total yards this game. It's either the
Yep.
second or the first most they put up this season. So,
Second, I believe.
um,
I think they put up like 410 right after they fired what's his name?
yeah, Canada.
Not Canada. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, solid win for the Ravens or for the Steelers. Then they needed to beat the Seattle Seahawks for Packers and the Vikings to
Hmm.
keep their playoff hopes alive. But yeah, Seattle needs to lose next week as well. But Pittsburgh with a solid win on the road in this one, so that was a good win for them. It keeps their playoff hopes alive as well for next week, and we'll see what happens next week. But yeah, solid win for the Steelers there. And then you had the Los Angeles Chargers heading to Denver, Mile High Stadium, where the Denver Broncos ended up beating the Los Angeles Chargers 16-9 with both backups in Jared Stidham and then Easton Stick at
Easton Stick.
quarterback. Yep. And then, yeah, low scoring game, pretty much all field goals there, 16-9. Jared Stidham did have a touchdown pass there, but that was the only touchdown of the game there. But yeah, solid win for the Denver Broncos, sitting at 8-8. Keeps their playoffs hope alive as well. Still have a slim chance of making the playoffs there in the AFC, but yeah, Chargers, yeah, completely tanking. Austin Eckler only had 46 yards on the ground, so he's been
Yeah.
non-existent this year. And yeah, whoever picked him in the first round are really kicking themselves. Like myself, I picked him in the first round for my fantasy and was not a solid pick. And then I had also picked up Calvin Ridley, which yeah, so yeah, not doing good in fantasy at all. So, but yeah, solid win for the Broncos at home. They're sitting at 8-8, keep their playoff hopes alive there. Um, and then you had the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Um, and yeah, pretty much all field goals in this one too. Harrison Butker hit 6 of them
Hmm.
for the Kansas City Chiefs. As Isaiah Pacheco had 130 yards on the ground.
Dog.
Yeah, right, dog. And the Chiefs are glad he's back after the concussion and everything. And then Rashee Rice, another rookie for making their name in the league and everything. He had 127 yards, receiving yards, and then yeah, basically it was just all field goals. Harrison Butker shows why being having a kicker as good as him with the leg that he has really plays an impact in these games, especially when you have like uh, who's your kicker's name? Anders Carlson,
There's Carlson. Yeah.
who's missed the most field goals in the NFL this year. He did lead the league with 4 missed field goals or point after attempts, I should say. Missed 4 PATs heading into this game. And then he missed another one, which he leads the league with 5 now. Um, but yeah, we'll hop into this one. Solid win for the Chiefs, 25 to
I was
17.
confused for a second, but yeah, yeah. Chiefs, big win for the Chiefs. They needed that win, especially after the past few weeks that they've had. Um, Not great wins by any means, but yeah, they needed this one. Yeah, we can get into the Packers game.
But yeah, heading into the to our most anticipated game, Ian Evans, rivalry week here. You had the Green Bay Packers traveling to US Bank in Minnesota to end up beating the Vikings
Stomp that ass.
33-10. Vikings defense was not there this week or last week. Didn't show up at all. Made Jordan Love look like the best quarterback in the league. He throws for 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, and then ran one in as well, making a total of 4.
Yeah.
touchdowns for Jordan Love that night. And yeah, they take control of the playoff spot over the Vikings, knock them out, and then they take number 7 there. Um, and yeah, tough loss for the Vikes. Like I said, slim chance of making it to the playoffs. Packers need to lose to the Bears. Um, Seattle needs to lose, and then Atlanta or Saints need to lose as well.
Hmm.
And then the Vikings need to beat the Lions, which is a tough task in of itself. So it's not looking good for the Vikes. But Packers, they're gonna be a scary team to face in the playoffs, just because of the run that Jordan Love's having. I think he what's his stats in the last like 5 weeks?
5 weeks.
Like
She's got
like
to have
18
like,
touchdowns and 1 interception.
yeah, 13. Yeah, I think he's sitting at overall
16,
probably
16
17.
or
I think
17.
passing. Yeah, I think he's sitting at like 30 touchdowns passing on the year, which
Yeah.
is super impressive for a rookie quarterback. And I think he only has 13 interceptions. So or
Not a
11,
rookie quarterback, but
or yeah,
first
first year
season
quarterback. Yeah,
debut. Yeah,
um,
first year.
and yeah, so yeah, good win. Um, they looked good. Vikings looked awful. Made the Packers, like you said, probably look a little bit better than they are. Um, but yeah, huge win. And it was awesome to do it in Minnesota because being from the Midwest, bunch of or loud Vikings fans, just cheering
And
for
lousy.
Minnesota and lousy. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say their fans are lousy. I'd say their defense is. But yeah, big win for the Packers.
Yeah, huge win for the Packers. Yeah, helps their playoff implications out a lot. They just need to beat the Bears and they're in. And so yeah,
Yep.
solid
Yeah,
win
and
for the Pack.
they're kind of in the same situation they were last year. They needed to beat Detroit to make it to the playoffs last year with Aaron Rodgers, and then Detroit ended up beating them. Same exact situation. If they get beat by Chicago, they will not make the playoffs. So they got to come out swinging, got to play good. Luckily, it's in Lambeau. Um, it's January. It's cold. Hopefully, the snow's coming. So should be a good game to watch.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was a solid win for the Packers. They needed it uh poorly, or needed it badly, or however you want to put it there. Yeah, they just cruised past the Vikes. And yeah, it doesn't help that we're on our fourth string quarterback. And we keep flip-flopping quarterbacks
Yeah,
in and out of the game.
you should have stuck with Dobbs the whole entire time.
Either Dobbs or Nick Mullins, because as soon as Nick Mullins came into the game, we looked like our offense started clicking again. We got a couple first downs from JJ, and then we got that touchdown in the fourth quarter from Nick Mullins. But yeah, wasn't enough. We were already down what, like 30 to 3
Hmm.
when that touchdown came into account. So
Yep.
uh yeah, tough outing for the Vikes. And yeah, it seems like just another year of the Vikings. Last year we had some fortunate luck in winning those close games and everything, but this year we're back to the same old Vikes. Barely,
Yep.
we're just trying to crack 500 now,
Hmm.
which is how we usually are and everything. We're usually a 500 team, barely trying to make the playoffs and everything like that. But solid win for the Pack. And yeah, they're probably one of my favorites to kind of make it to the NFC Championship there. Just with the way that Jordan Love's been playing and how the whole team's been playing, offense, defense, and special teams, they've really been stepping it up. They must have gotten to talking to,
Yeah.
because yeah, they've been playing real well. And with also without Christian Watson, and then Patrick Reed goes out in this game after he scored 2 touchdowns.
Jaden Reed.
Jaden Reed, yeah, he scored 2 touchdowns
Jaden
and then
Reed.
he went out of the game.
And no
Um,
Jair Alexander.
exactly.
Uh,
Yeah, he was suspended. We talked about that last week.
yeah.
But yeah, solid win for the Pack. And yeah, that wraps up week 17, and we'll jump into week 18 here.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then hopping into week 18 here. Yeah, going to be some good games. Like I said, playoff implications and everything like that. But you're also going to see some games where a lot of the teams are going to be sitting their starters that they've already clinched a playoff spot and everything like that. And like we said, no Thursday night game this week, so we got to wait until Saturday to kick off the NFL slate. But we have 2 games on Saturday here. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Baltimore to play the Ravens. This could be, yeah, this is a divisional game, could be a close game, especially if the Ravens sit some of their starters here, which more than likely they will. But Yeah, 9-7 Steelers traveling to the 13-3 Baltimore Ravens. Pittsburgh actually has a 4-point spread, 4-point advantage in this one. Yeah, just because the Ravens are sitting their starters and everything. But could help the Steelers if they get a dub here. They need one here to make the playoffs. But yeah, what do you think about this one?
I think I'm probably gonna go Pittsburgh, um, just because, like you said, they're sitting there. Ravens will be sitting their starters. Yeah, I'm gonna go Pittsburgh all the way. I think that just the way they've been playing, I like Mason Rudolph, and I think that he's gonna lead them to another win.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. Yeah, not a huge fan of Pittsburgh. I was at the beginning of the season just because they had a lot of hope and a lot of promise heading into the season with the talent that they have and everything like that. But
Right.
I still think because yeah, who would the Ravens start? Is it that
They
like
got
Tyler
that
Huntley kid?
Tyler Huntley, yeah, and he won. He made the yeah. Well, I have another gripe about the Pro Bowl selections came out, and I just want to say this quick here. Tyler Huntley made the Pro Bowl last year because he played
Hmm.
pretty well for those few games.
Yeah,
Jordan Love didn't even make the Pro Bowl. What kind of shit is that?
last year.
No, this year Jordan Love did not make the Pro Bowl this year. And the selections
Well,
came out. I think the selections came out yesterday or 2 days ago.
yeah,
Anyway, yeah,
yeah. Well, who are the quarterbacks for the NFC? Like Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, and
dude, put the numbers Jordan Love's numbers against Jalen Hurts. They're
yeah,
if not the same or better.
yeah, true. But I mean, that's more of a the Pro Bowl or whatever is more of like a I don't know, like recognition type deal. Like big names are usually in that because that's who the fans want to see and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, the Jordan Love is having a season. Can't take that away from him. He's 200 yards away from 4,000, and like you said, he has 30 touchdowns and 11 picks on the season. So, I mean,
Hmm.
he's been playing solid and he's been coming on when the time matters in the last like 4 or 5 weeks here. So, if he can stay red hot, then yeah, like I said, Packers might be one of my favorites to make it to the NFC conference
I'm not
or
gonna get my
championship
hopes
there.
up, but we'll see.
Yeah, but yeah, might be going to one of those games here if they make it pretty far.
We'll see.
But yeah, so Steelers Ravens on Saturday afternoon. I'm gonna go with Baltimore here. I'm gonna pick Baltimore in this one. I got to make up a lot of games here, so hopefully I can get a few back on you with this slate here, just because yeah, people are sitting and stuff like that. But I'm give me Baltimore in this one. I'm gonna take the Ravens over the Steelers at home in the birdcage.
Okay.
And then Saturday night game, you have the Houston Texans traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Another big playoff implication game here. Texans need to get a W over the Colts for sure if they want a chance at making the playoffs. Like I said, Colts are sitting at 7 right now, I believe. And so, yeah, Texans can steal that spot away from them if they get the dub here. Houston has a 1.5 point spread on the road against the Colts, both sitting at 9-7 for records. Who do you got?
Be a good game. This is pretty much a playoff game already in itself. I'm gonna go Colts here, um, since it is at home for them. I think it's gonna be loud there. I think Gardner Minshew has that dog in him. He wants to win a playoff game or win a game to make it to the playoffs. I'm gonna go Colts here at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna like I said, I got a lot of games to make up, but I do like Houston Texans the way they've been playing. Devin Singletary can keep it up, and then CJ Stroud balling out with Nico Collins and Noah Brown. I think Noah Brown might be hurt, and same with Tank Dell. But yeah, I still think yeah, give me Houston in this one on the road over the Colts. Even though I'm a pretty big Colts fan. I like the way they've been playing, the resiliency that they've been having this season, sitting at 9-7 after losing their first round draft pick and AR-15 Anthony Richardson, and then Jonathan Taylor missing probably half the season there.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I like the give me the Texans in this one, even though the Colts do have some resiliency to them. But I got to make up some games, so I'm going to take the Texans on the road in this one on
All right.
Saturday night football. So and then heading into Sunday, January 7th, also when the SDSU Jackrabbits face Montana for the FCS championship there.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be a fun game. Go
Yeah, sure.
Jacks. But yeah,
Jets.
go and then NFL. on Sunday. First game, you have the Cleveland Browns heading to Cincinnati to take on the 8-8 Bengals. Browns, like you said, they're probably sitting Joe Flacco. They're probably sitting a lot of
Yep,
their
they are
starters
for sure.
and stuff like that. So Cincinnati has a 7-point spread at home in this game over the Browns. 11-5 Browns, 8-8 Bengals, 7-point spread for Cincinnati at home. Who you got?
Oh man, who's the Browns' backup quarterback? Do you know?
Now I can look it up.
Um, Hell, 7 points is a lot. I get that Joe Flacco's probably not playing.
I know they
Um,
have that one guy, what's his name? That rookie DTR, but I don't
I
know if
think
he's
he out for season.
yeah, he's out for the season. So you have Jeff Driscoll is their second
I
string.
don't know who that is. Yeah, he's a baller.
Yeah, Jeff, baby.
I'm
He
gonna
is a baller
go.
he's out of Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, and then
Jeff
Bengals are still
Driscoll.
trying to. Are Bengals still trying to push, right? Make a push for the playoffs.
Yeah, they're still looking, and they're on the outside looking in
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bengals
right
here. I
now.
think I think that spread's a little hefty, but I'm gonna go Bengals and that Jake Browning. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go Bengals at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna check there where they're sitting at. No, they're eliminated. 11 and they're 11 seed and they've been eliminated from the playoffs. Steelers, Houston are the only two teams left in the
Um,
hunt
yeah, I'm
for
still
the
gonna go
playoffs.
just because Joe Flacco's probably not playing. Probably like Njoku's probably not playing.
Yeah, there's gonna be a
Um,
lot of teams like Miles Garrett's probably not playing and
yeah,
all that fun stuff. So that's why
yeah.
Cincinnati probably has that 7-point spread.
I hate these. This is week 18 is the toughest week to pick games because you just don't know if teams are going to try. If you already got a spot secured, why try? Just let your second stringers go out, your third stringers go out and just play
Yeah.
and have some fun and try to get a win. Obviously, you want
Yeah.
to win, but I already said Bengals, so I'm going to stick with Bengals. I'm going to stick with my first answer. So
Yeah. Yeah, this one's kind of tough just because yeah, Browns are sitting all their players and stuff like that. It's gonna be a tough sledding for the second stringers against the Bengals because they're probably not sitting anybody. Um I don't know. Yeah, give me the
yeah,
Browns. Fuck it.
these are
Let's
tough.
go opposite.
These are weird. We can
Opposite.
go opposite. We've gone opposite every single game. So this is where you
Yeah.
can make up that
Yeah.
9 game sweep. So
Yeah, give me the Browns. They're a better team than the Bengals, especially this year with Joey Brr sitting out. And T. Higgins is banged up. Jamar Chase is kind of banged up. Um, yeah, so give me the Browns in this one. I'll take the Browns over the Bengals on the road in this one. And then yeah, getting to the Vikings Lions game, must win for the Vikings if they want any shot at the making it into the playoffs. 7-9 Vikings, 11-5 Lions in Detroit. And Detroit has a 3.5 point spread in this one. Probably not sitting any of their starters.
nah,
Maybe
just
not. Probably not.
I just
But
don't think just the way we've seen Dan Campbell coach the past 2 years. I don't see him sitting his starters for the last game. He's like one of those coaches that like just say he's a college coach. He's gonna want his players to play that bowl game or whatever, his seniors or whatever. So I'm gonna go Detroit at home.
yeah, I'm gonna stick with my home team. I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Vikings. They need to get this dub. Hopefully they start Nick Mullins and just sling the ball to Addison, Jordan Addison, and Justin Jefferson. TJ Hawkinson's out for the year with torn ACL, which hurts. But you have Ty Chandler who played a solid game last week. And then yeah, it's just yeah, the whole Vikings team is kind of banged up at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, give me the Vikes in this one on the road. I think we go 1-1 with the Lions this year, just
Yeah,
like we have with every other team. So yeah, give me the Vikes in this one on the road. I think we get their number back. We know what they did 2 weeks ago to us, so I think the Vikings have a pretty good picture of what the Lions are going to do again. And yeah, I think the Vikings got this one in the bag. Give me the Vikes on the road in this one over the Detroit Lions.
there we go.
And then we have the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Tennessee to face the Titans, the 9-7 Jaguars, 5-11 Titans. Jacksonville has a 3.5 point spread on the road in this one. Yeah, who do you got?
I got Jacksonville Jaguars. Like I mentioned prior to that past weekend when we went over Week 17 recap, the Titans have nothing to lose. I mean, they're already out, and I don't think they're really playing to win. The Jags are playing to win. They want to get in. They want to secure a spot. So I'm gonna go Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, this is a this is a must win for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not a must win, but definitely would help solidify that number 4 spot ahead of their division and everything, and get that home field advantage for the at least the first game of the playoffs. So I'm going to go Jacksonville Jaguars as well in this one. They put out a good showing last week,
Hmm.
but again they're playing the Panthers, but then the Titans not too much better than the Panthers there. But yeah,
Right.
give me the Jaguars in this one on the road. And then we have a divisional game, maybe not divisional game, but it's a pretty good rivalry. You have the New York Jets sitting at 6-10, heading to New England to face the 4-12 Patriots. New England actually has a 2-point spread on this one at home. Who do you got in this one?
Yes, this is tough. New England's hard to play in January. It's cold, either raining, snowing, whatever. Um, and I believe is Zach Wilson starting for the Jets? Going to be starting?
I'm not 100% sure. I can take a look. I don't
No,
know if it tells me who's starting or not.
no, it probably
Um,
won't. Not yet. Um,
yeah, it says Zach
I'm gonna
Wilson's
go.
out.
Okay.
So you got Trevor Simeon or
Yeah, I'm gonna
Brett
go
Rippin.
Jets. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Jets here. I think they're gonna end the season the way they started it with a win. Um, and this is a big rivalry, kinda. It's not divisional, but is it divisional?
I don't think so, but I'm gonna take a look. It might be. They're AFC East. The Jets are. Um,
Jets, Patriots. It is. Yeah, it is. Jets, Patriots, Bills, Dolphins.
heck yeah.
Yep. So I'm gonna go Jets here. Even though Zach Wilson's not playing, I think they got to get a win. Especially this is their last game before Rodgers is back. He's back. He's with the team. They're getting ready for next year. I think they're gonna try to win for him and get on the right track. Get back on the right track. So I'm
Yep.
gonna.
They'll probably, yeah. I'm gonna go with you as well. I'm gonna go Jets on this one as well on the road. Um, yeah, Jets want to get that momentum back into the off season and carry it over to the next season because they have something pretty bright to look forward to at the end of the tunnel starting next season there with the Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. So yeah,
Mhm.
I like the Jets in this one. Give me the Jets on the road in this one over the New England Patriots, who are sitting at 4-12. Haven't been doing much. Bailey Zappi had 2 or 3 picks last week, and the Jets defense is pretty solid. You got the Sauce Gardner and Will Anderson. You got a bunch of dogs on the defensive end for the Jets and everything like that. So yeah, give me the Jets in this one on the road.
Hell yeah.
And then yeah, then you have the Atlanta Falcons heading to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Playoff implications on the line in this one. So Vikings need the Saints to lose and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to lose. So the Saints versus the Falcons. 7-9 Falcons, 8-8 Saints. Saints have a 3-point spread at home in this one. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Saints here. Just because the way they played last week. I mean, beat the Bucks by what? They beat the Bucks by three.
Yeah, 3 or 6 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Saints here. And like you've mentioned, the whole entire season, the Falcons are just on and off, on and off, on and off. I don't think they can win big games, but they've snuck away with a few ones by a few points. So, but yeah, I still got to go against them. I'm gonna go with Saints here at home.
Yeah, I'm not I've said this all year. I'm not a huge Derek Carr fan at all. But I do like the Bijan Robinson the way he's been playing. He almost has 1,000 yards on the ground, which would be huge if he could crack that 1,000 yard mark. He only needs like 62 more yards to crack that. But yeah, give me the Falcons in this one. I'm not who sh I'm. They're probably starting Desmond Ridder. I think Taylor Heineke got hurt
Hmm.
last 2 weeks ago or last week or something like that. So Desmond Ridder, you never know what you're going to get from him. You're either going to get 303 touchdowns or 150 and 3 interceptions. So,
Yeah,
yeah, it's going to be this one's honestly a coin flip. But like I said, I got to make up some games. So I'm going to take the Falcons on the road in this one over
and
the
you
Saints.
need the Saints to lose.
Yeah, I
So
need the Saints to lose as well for the Vikings. So yeah, give me the Falcons on the road in this one over the Saints.
there you go.
And then yeah, another game with the Vikings playoffs on the line. We need the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are sitting at 8-8, to lose to the 2-14 Panthers, which can be done. Panthers have been a couple good teams, and they put up some numbers like against the Dolphins. They were up 21-0 over the Dolphins, and they also were up against the not up, but they almost came back and ended up beating the Packers a couple weeks ago. So I mean, Panthers do have a solid team. Bryce Young kind of just getting his toes wet and everything, but Adam Thielen's been having a year. Chuba Hubbard, as the running back's been playing pretty decent. So yeah, we need the Bucks to lose. Vikings need the Bucks to lose, but it's not looking good for the Vikes if this is the matchup they're wanting the Panthers to win this one. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, 8-8 Buccaneers, 2-14 Panthers. Tampa Bay has a 4.5 point spread on the road in this one. Who do you got?
You know,
Rocking with Baker.
I will rock with Baker, but just kind of making that, you got an ex Vikings player playing for the Panthers. His former team needs his current team to win. Um, I think it's gonna be a good game, but I think Baker's gonna play good. He's
No, I
played
think
well.
this is a must win for the Bucks too, because if the Saints win over the
Yep,
Falcons, Bucks
it is.
drop, and
But
then
I honestly
Saints take
think
that
though
spot.
this is crazy because if the Packers win, I think the Packers win, they're in. But then just because the Bucks are sitting at 8-8,
Yeah,
so
but
they'll
they're ahead
automatically
of their
drop out.
division. They're ahead of
Okay.
their division,
Yeah, I know. I
and
understand
then
that. But if they
Saints.
get
Yeah, so if they
go,
lose, if Bucks lose, Saints win. Saints move to 9-8.
and they're
Bucks
four
fall to
seed,
8-9. If Vikings win, they're at 8-9, and they have a tiebreaker over the Bucks. Yeah, I'm not
no, I'm not
100%
talking
sure.
about the Vikings. I mean, the Vikings are gonna have a tough time. I'm talking about if the Bucks lose. I mean, the Vikings have to have a lot of stuff happen. I'm
Right.
talking about if the Bucks lose, what are their chances? Are they automatically out of the playoffs, or how does that work? Just because if the Packers do win, where does that put the Bucks at? Both, I
Yeah,
mean,
Bucks would fall out of the playoffs if
okay, because I think they'd have work. We'd be 9-8. It would
but
be nine
if
and eight if we win, and they'd be 8-9. Yeah, but they'd be just head to head. We have a better record.
If Bucks lose and the Saints lose,
Hmm.
if both of them lose and Seattle loses and Vikings win, then
And then
they
you get
go
the.
up. And then if Falcons win, they go up too.
You don't have to have the Packers lose.
Huh?
Don't you? The Vikings have to have the Packers lose too.
Yeah, because they beat us head to head.
Yeah, so you got to. I mean, Vikings are looking at a whole slate of games that they need to have fall their
Like
way.
five. Yeah, like
Yeah.
five. But
But
still a
anyway,
chance. Still a
get
chance.
yeah, still a chance on the next games.
Yeah. We'll head up the next ones. But yeah, Bucks versus the Panthers at noon o'clock. Yeah, 8-8 Bucks, 2-14 Panthers, Tampa Bay 4.5 point spread. Who do you got in this one? I don't think you
I picked
picked
the
yet.
Bucks. Yeah, I picked
Pick
the
the
Bucks.
Bucks.
The Baker. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Panthers in this one. I'm gonna pick the
Okay.
Panthers to upset the Bucks. Hopefully they can get another dub underneath their belt. They still got first overall pick that they traded away to Chicago, but yeah, give me the Panthers in this one. Let's have them end on a high note and then help the Vikings squeak into the playoffs there.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, then heading into the afternoon games, 3:25, you have the Chicago Bears heading to Wisconsin to take on the Green Bay Packers. Bears sitting at 7-9, Packers at 8-8. Green Bay has a 3 point spread at home in this one. Yeah, I already know who you got in this one, but let the world know.
Yeah, Packers for sure. It's gonna actually I looked at the weather in Green Bay.
It's supposed to be
It's actually supposed to
28
be
and
pretty
drizzly.
nice. Yeah, pretty nice actually. But I mean, that's not cold compared to what has been, in past
January, yeah.
January games. But I don't think the Packers let this happen again. Back-to-back seasons, like I mentioned, they had the same exact game with the Lions last year. Losing, you're out. I don't think they'll let it happen again. And I think they'll. The Bears have been playing good. They put up 37 last week or whatever it was. Their offense is moving the ball. Um, but no, I got to stay with the Packers. And I think our defense, if we can play like we did last week, um, I think we'll put an ass whooping on the Bears. Make a
Yeah,
statement.
I mean, yeah, if Jordan Love stays hot and everything like that, they do have a pretty good chance of
Yep.
beating the Bears and then making a pretty good run in the playoffs. But
Yeah.
just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna have to go Chicago Bears in this one, just to try to get my record back and hopefully the Vikings can make the playoffs. If the Packers lose, Bucks lose, Saints lose, all of that fun stuff, and then they
Yeah.
end up beating the Lions. So yeah, give me the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields in this one over the Jordan Love era of the Packers. So yeah, give me the Chicago Bears on the road in this one.
Perfect.
And then another divisional game here. A lot of divisional games. Yeah, pretty much all divisional games here
Hmm.
coming up to wrap up the season. You have the Denver Broncos sitting at 8-8, traveling to Vegas to face the Raiders in Sin City. They're sitting at 7-9, and Vegas has a 3-point spread on the road in this one. Russell Wilson's sitting the rest of the year. He's probably getting traded
Yeah,
or released from the Broncos at the end of the season. But yeah, Broncos did get a win last week. They're sitting at 8-8, and then Raiders at 7-9. Like I said, Vegas has a 3-point spread at home in this one. Who do you got?
I'm going Raiders all the way. Just because like what they have in their either facility, their head coach. Obviously, he wants to be a head coach next year. Obviously, he's interim right now, but he wants to be the main head coach next year. They got a fire in their bellies, I think, just because I just don't know. The atmosphere in their facility must be pretty crazy, and that whole team is bonded. I think they're gonna have a good game, and I think they beat the Broncos.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can't really disagree with you here, but um, yeah, I'm gonna go Broncos in this one with their backup. They're still playing for pride and everything here. Give me the Broncos at home on the road on this one over the Las Vegas Raiders. Um, I think the Broncos defense is gonna slow down Aiden O'Connell and Devontae Adams, and Josh Jacob really hasn't been having a year like he has been in the past. Um, and then Javonte Williams on the Broncos side for the running back, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Judy. Yeah, give me the Denver Broncos on the road in this one over the Las Vegas Raiders.
Perfect.
And then you have Christmas rematch versus the Eagles traveling to New York to face the Giants. There, Eagles coming off a tough loss over the Cardinals, but they're still sitting at 11-5. Giants are at 5-11. Philly has a 5-point advantage on the road in this one. Who do you got?
So my question is, obviously they already locked up a spot. Are they gonna sit Jalen? Because Giants aren't sitting anybody because they just want to win. And they almost had that close winning game or game winner last week. Are the Eagles going to play their starters? Who knows? Because they've been on a shitty streak. Um, let's
Yeah,
see.
they haven't named anybody like out yet, really.
Yeah,
So, I mean, but who knows? I mean, yeah, I mean, if they get up to a good lead, 21-21 in the first half, and then they'll probably put in Marcus Mariota or something like that.
yeah,
But yeah, I doubt they sit anybody. They need to get a dub underneath their belt before they head into the playoffs for sure, I would
yeah.
imagine.
I'm gonna go
Um,
Eagles.
yeah, I'm gonna go Eagles with you as well in this one over the Giants. Yeah, give me the Philadelphia Eagles in this one over
You
the
know, it might be a
Giants.
close game with Tyrod Taylor. You never know.
Well, yeah, it was a pretty close game last week or over Christmas as well with the Eagles and Giants and stuff
Hmm.
like that. So who
Yeah,
knows? Giants could pull it out at the end of the season to really send the Eagles into torment and into the playoffs with a low confidence, low self-esteem for sure if the Giants end up beating the Eagles last week of the season. So yeah. And then you have the Seattle Seahawks traveling down to Arizona to face the Cardinals. So battle of the birds in this one. Seattle sitting at 8-8, Cardinals sitting at 4-12. Cardinals coming up that win against the Eagles there. But Seattle does have a 2.5-point spread on the road in this one. Uh, who do you got?
yeah. I'm gonna go Seattle. I don't think they're gonna be sitting any of their starters, obviously. So I'm gonna go Seattle, and I think they're gonna put a whooping on the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, nothing to lose for Arizona.
No.
Really, James Conner has that dog in him. Kyler Murray threw for 3 touchdowns last week. So who knows? This team might starting to click at the right time. I mean, obviously not making the playoffs, but um, big confidence booster for the Cardinals beating the Eagles. Probably could have been their Super Bowl for the year. So they might be over and done with for the season, but they could squeak another one out over Seattle, which would help the Vikings case even more. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals in this one. At home too, down in Arizona. Kyler Murray can throw for another 3 touchdowns, and James Conner with another 100 yards on the ground. Going to be tough for Seattle to stop that because they haven't been doing much on offense really. Seattle hasn't last couple of weeks. So yeah, give me the Cardinals in this one for sure at home. And then you have this one's always close, no doubt. You have the Kansas City Chiefs heading to Los Angeles to face the Chargers. Seems like it doesn't matter who's playing and who's starting in either of these games. Seems like it's always a close game between the Chargers and the Chiefs. I do know Patrick Mahomes is sitting out for this one. Probably Travis Kelsey, probably a lot of their starters and everything like that. So yeah, 10-6 Kansas City Chiefs versus the 5-11 Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers have a 3.5 point spread at home in this one. Yeah, who do you got?
I'm gonna go Chiefs here. I know they're going with their backup quarterback, but Travis Kelsey is going to be playing. He's 16 yards away from making having another 1,000 yard season.
Oh, he's probably playing for
So he's playing.
paycheck incentives,
Yep.
incentives.
And I can't remember who their backup was. I can't remember who was playing.
This is
They
that
just
one
mentioned.
guy that came in last year. Remember? I
Uh,
think it's that same guy. He's on the Subway commercial.
I couldn't tell you. They mentioned it, but yeah, I think that the Chiefs are going to take this one.
Yeah, Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert. He's pretty good too. He played for I know Jacksonville for a while. I think he's been popped around for a few teams. I know he played for Jacksonville. I
Yeah,
played for obviously Kansas City the past few years. I'm gonna go Chiefs still.
yeah, probably more than likely Chiefs, but Chargers. It's always a close game between these two teams, but I think the Chiefs get this one. They need to get a dub here to get that confidence going into the postseason. So yeah, give me the Kansas City Chiefs in this one on the road over the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers kind of falling to pieces and stuff like that, firing their head coach. I think they're just gonna finish the season here and reset from square one and try to build this team back up. But yeah, give me the Kansas City Chiefs on the road and over the Los Angeles Chargers in this one. And then you have the 9-7 Los Angeles Rams traveling to the 12-4 San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco probably sitting all their starters and everything, but they still do have a 4 point spread at home in this one over the Los Angeles Rams, just with how good their team is and everything like that. So yeah, 9-7 Rams, 12-4 49ers, San Francisco with a 4 point spread at home in this one. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go Rams here. I'm gonna go Rams here. Just putting in that just in the fact that the 49ers may not play all their best players. Um, and the Rams are still a good team. Obviously, didn't really show it that much last week. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go Rams here.
Yeah, for sure. Christian McCaffrey's out. No doubt. Debo Samuel, he was not questionable due to injury, but he is probably not going to play. I doubt they play Brock Purdy just because what happened last season when they're in like the
Mm-hmm.
semifinals to make it to the NFC division game or the NFC conference game, and they went through four quarterbacks. So I doubt they're going to want to do that again this year. So I think they start Sam Darnold. But yeah, with Christian McCaffrey out, yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, give me San Francisco on this one over the Rams. I think San Francisco holds on to that number one spot and moves to 12 or 13-4 to finish the season. So yeah, give me San Fran at home in this one. Alrighty. And then we have the Dallas Cowboys sitting at 11-5, coming off that close win last week over the Lions. Now they're facing the 4-12 Commanders in Washington, D.C. Um, so yeah, Cowboys sitting at 11-5, Commanders at 4-12. Dallas has a 13 point spread on this one. Um, yeah, who do you got in this one? I don't know who's all going to be playing for
I'm
Dallas,
going. I'm going
but
Cowboys. I'm going Cowboys. I don't think it's a no-brainer, especially with that 13 point, um, spread. I think that the analysts probably know who's going to be playing for them. Maybe not everybody, but obviously a lot. I think Dak's going to be playing. Tony Pollard,
yeah,
CD. I think they'll all be playing. So I'm going to go Cowboys here.
their second string team is pretty good too. They got that Dowdle running back, and then they also have Deuce Vaughn as their second string quarterback, and then they're so deep at wide receiver as well. They got Michael Gallup,
Hmm.
Brandon Cooks. Even if they don't play CD Lamb, they got those other two talented wide receivers, everything like that. So I'm going to take the boys in this one as well. Finish their season off strong, head into the postseason, solidify that number one spot in their division, get home field advantage for pretty much the whole the whole playoffs there. So yeah, give me the Cowboys in this one. Pretty easy pick there. And then yeah, huge game, huge playoff implications and everything like that. You have the Buffalo Bills traveling down to Miami on Sunday Night Football. And if you go back to like week 4 or whatever it was, Bills put a butt whipping on the Dolphins in Buffalo the first time they played. I think it won like 43-10 or 43-17 or something like that. Just an absolute butt kicking. But yeah, rematch here heading into the playoffs. And then this is a, divisional game. So I think if the Bills win this game and they win this game, I think they move into that number one spot in that conference over or in that division over the Miami Dolphins and everything like that. I could be wrong, but I think that's how it's going to go. This is a huge game for both of these teams. Dolphins have already the made the
Playoffs.
playoffs. Yep. So they clinched the playoff berth. But I still think if the Bills win this one, just because of their head-to-head schedule, Buffalo moves into that number one spot and gets home field advantage for the playoffs, at least the first game or two.
What's Buffalo's record?
10-6. Miami's at 11 and
Yeah,
5.
yeah. So they have the
So
same record, and then head to head. Yeah.
yep. So they
I'm
would
gonna go
move in.
Buffalo. I'm going Buffalo.
Yeah, I picked Dolphins last week over the Ravens because I thought they were going to come in with a statement game, but they were on the road. Now they're back at home. Um, yeah, give me the Dolphins at home in this one in Miami over the Buffalo Bills. I don't think Miami's going to let the Bills come in and walk all over them like they did at their place earlier in the season. But Buffalo does have a 3-point spread in this one. So yeah, 10-6 Buffalo Bills, 11-5 Miami Dolphins. Buffalo with a 3.5-point spread. You got the Bills. I got the Dolphins. Um, and yeah, we'll see what happens. There's a lot of uh, discrepancies between our picks and everything, and I need to make up 9 games somehow in
Hmm.
this last week, which only has what 12 or 13 games here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I should
6,
have
7,
16.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 games.
Yeah, I mean every
So
team's still playing. Yeah.
yeah, I suppose, but yeah. Um, yeah, so I could make up some games here. I think we got probably 10 or 11 discrepancies between our picks. So hopefully I can get some dubs out of these picks. I picked a lot of underdogs for sure, but
Yeah.
um, let's see how the cookie crumbles. But yeah, I got the Miami Dolphins and you got the Bills in the last game of the NFL regular season. Which
Yes.
is a pretty big game, a lot of playoff
Hmm.
implications and everything, and number one seeds and spots, home field advantage, all of that fun stuff. Um, but yeah, it's been a fun ride, honestly, for these past 18 weeks. Uh, Even more than that when we were covering some of the preseason games and all that fun jazz. But yeah, been a solid 18 weeks. Like I said, what was our records again? I'm sitting at 156 and 100, and you're sitting at 165 and 91.
Yep.
So yeah, nine game advantage over me. So I need some of these teams to pull it out of their ass and hopefully count on some second stringers to get the dub
Right.
over some of these teams. So yeah,
Yeah,
what do
should
you
be an
got?
exciting week. Yeah, should be an exciting week. Yeah, it was pretty crazy going through. I was just going through all my notes. Having 18 or 19 pages of just games and picks. It's pretty crazy. I've never done, guessed every game. So yeah, and we're both sitting at pretty good records. You both over, right, 500.
Yeah, we're not gonna be lower than 500, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
So,
Even if we get all these games wrong.
mhm. But yeah, it was
So
fun here, and yeah, we'll probably talk about week 18 or the results of week 18 next podcast on 48. But it's been a hell of a year, and then probably continue to talk about our podcast might be a little bit shorter coming into like playoffs because obviously there's a lot less games. Um, so we won't have much to talk about, but yeah, I'm excited to talk about the playoffs. And then yeah, just to wrap up the NFL season, it's kind of bittersweet, but I'm excited to see how the Packers perform, and obviously there's a lot of stuff that can go on this week, so I'm excited to see what happens.
yeah, I'm excited to see what happens as well. And we're just getting started. I mean, you got the playoffs coming up. We got about 4 rounds of playoffs and everything
Hmm.
that are going to be intense. Watching some of these teams battle it out to see if they can't come out victorious at the end of the whole thing when the fat lady sings. We'll see who comes out on top. But um, have an idea who's your what's your Super Bowl picks? You think Baltimore and San Fran?
Mm, yeah,
You said that earlier in the
yeah,
pod,
yeah,
but
Baltimore, San Fran, but just the way I don't know, Dallas has. I could see either Baltimore, San Fran, or Baltimore, Dallas. I don't see Philadelphia making it that far. I see, like I said, I see them losing in the first round of the playoffs. Um, yeah, I guess I don't know. I mean, it kind of. I think yeah, the Niners have kind of made a statement that they are the best team. Had a lot of big games that they've won. They've also lost a few games. So
Lost three in a row. Yeah.
NFC's. I think the AFC is more predictable to see who's going to make the Super Bowl. Obviously, you got the Cleveland Browns and you got the Baltimore Ravens up there. Those are my top two. I mean, even you got Buffalo. They've been playing kind of decent. Um,
Miami,
Miami, yeah, they've
Chiefs.
been Chiefs. Chiefs are. It's kind of hard to pick because they've been struggling a little bit. Um, towards the end of the year. So yeah, I'm excited to see. But yeah, I'll probably go. I'll probably stick with my original prediction. Yeah, Baltimore versus San Fran. But I also could say Baltimore versus Dallas. But I do have Baltimore probably winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go just by yeah, I don't know, just because yeah, a lot of controversy going on, but I do like the Cowboys who have been playing, especially if they get home field advantage for their first couple games. It's gonna
Hmm.
be tough to beat them at home. Um, I kind of like the Chiefs, honestly. I know they've dropped a few here in the last couple weeks, but I do like the Chiefs. I mean, never count out Patrick Mahomes. He's kind of like a Tom Brady. You never want to bet against the guy. Uh,
Yeah,
in
for sure.
anything. So I like the Chiefs and the Cowboys making the Super Bowl. I know that's kind of far fetched, but yeah, give me the Chiefs and the Cowboys in the Super Bowl for sure.
There you go.
But yeah, that wraps up week 17 and week 18. Week 17 recap, week 18 preview. And then yeah, not to forget, we do have a Monday night game. It's not NFL. It's a little bit more exciting than the week 18 of the NFL. You have the Michigan Wolverines playing against the Washington Huskies in the national championship game on Monday night. So that's gonna be a thriller of a
Yeah, we're,
game. I think Michigan has like a 2.5 point spread in the game on that one. And so, yeah, who do you got in that one? Michael Penix, or you got the Wolverines and the
I
sign
like Michael
stealing,
Penix,
the
but
sign stealing Harbaugh?
I just don't. Yeah, I think that Michigan's too good. Harbaugh's too good of a coach. I think this will be his last game in college football for Michigan. I'm gonna go, yeah, Michigan Wolverines over Washington Huskies. But yeah, like I said, I want the Washington Huskies to win, Kalen DeBoer and stuff like that. But I'm gonna go Michigan Wolverines. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Washington. I'm gonna stick with the Huskies. Yeah, Michigan has a 4.5 point spread in this one, but I like the Washington Huskies. Coach DeBoer putting South Dakota and Sioux Falls on the map and everything. I think
Yeah.
he gets the dub down in Houston in this one, but it's gonna be exciting game on Monday for sure.
Hmm.
But yeah, okay, you got anything else?
That is it. Yeah, excited for Week 18. Yeah, it's a big game. Obviously, the Vikings have a big week coming up, and then obviously the Packers have a big game coming up this weekend. So I'm pumped to watch those games.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, that wraps it up for episode number 47 of TEW Confrontational. Yeah, we got some exciting stuff going on, but we'll catch you guys next week on the pod. Until then, peace.
Peace.